Okay. Usually say recording process, but we're good. Let's see how we're looking on YouTube. Hello, beautiful people. It is Drake, B Drake with Everything Culture, and we're back with another Sunday happy hour. There we go. And as you can see TJ Lee. Hey T. We have Renee, previous guest, by the way, the making. And look, T just saw her. She's still here. They be getting shy, don't want to show their face. And we got Serenity. All right. Hey y'all. Make sure to like, share, and comment, engage. We love the engagement here. We get on every Sunday and we just have a cool, dope conversation with one another. 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Zoom. And then we start streaming. Yeah. Serenity, she's the resident comment person. Like, we have a whole different conversation going on the side. Hey, Jaya, how you doing, friend? But yeah, I'm like, hope you're doing well. But yeah, we appreciate all the support. And today we're just having a good lax conversation as always, but the things we want to touch on is really audience based, how we come across. It's nothing that's fully structured. I did not put out an episode this week. I think I needed just a little bit of a break. I've been doing 2 episodes every week for the past month since the 2023 started. Took a break. We got another dope episode coming out this Wednesday, with our child welfare series. I think y'all going to love it. So yeah, we chilling, but I want to make sure, everybody's doing well. Once again, happy Black History Month. Love it.
Happy Black History Month.
I think we need to come out with another song for Black History Month. Somebody need to drop something for us, we go make it work. It's I'm big on history. For the past 4 years, every year for Black History Month, I do a post every single day about somebody, an invention or event that is reflective of Black history, especially specific in Black American history. I will be continue to grow, but yeah, I love it. This is before I started doing Everything Culture. I was doing this. Okay. And actually this month it will make 4 years since I started doing Everything Culture. We're going up on our anniversary. So
all right now.
I know, that consistency is crazy. But I do.
Anniversary.
I know, right? And I want to make sure that it's grown so much, seeing people in and out. But I want to say thankful folks. I think what it makes next week, plays the boom. We love it. But we love it. We love it. Did I cut myself out? There we go. But yeah, so first of all, let me talk about this episode that's about to drop this Tuesday. Well, this Wednesday. Ugh, man. Shout out to J-Bo. Shout out to Mr. Social Worker 12. Shout out to Ernesto, or social work mentor. These brothers, we came together as fellows, brothers, brethren in the social work realm and field, and we just collectively enjoy one another through the conversation. Really good feelings, good vibes. We could have been on that conversation for a good 3 hours, but and everybody there was on time. That's the thing. Everybody showed up right there. I asked these guys this week, like, hey, I know we've been talking about it for some time, but can y'all make some time for me Monday? Not Monday, Sunday. And they're like, yeah. I know Sister Girl just to be back. And boom, it just, and when I say the conversation just flowed, I don't think I'm gonna edit it a lot. I'm just gonna put a little music behind it, a little, on time. I showed up right at 1, like, what is that, 11 a.m.? They were like 3 people in the lobby waiting on me. 3 people in the lobby waiting on me. That's what I'm talking about.
I love it.
I absolutely appreciate what we grow and what we do. But yeah, this conversation, once again, to 3 male social workers. Let me make sure I got this right.
Here we go. There's everybody.
Oh, man.
Hello.
Jay up.
Hey, everyone.
How's it going?
Hello. It's good.
Jess. Yeah.
Sister Girl Jess, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hold on, I can't hear y'all. That's the thing. Sorry, I couldn't hear y'all. That's me.
Okay.
How are you doing though?
We're doing wonderful. Wonderful.
Good. Once again, happy Black History Month, y'all. Okay. So once again, I don't know if you was in here, but I'm excited for the episode with our male caseworkers, and we take the step into the rest soon. So this week, it's been a good week. I'm glad, Super Bowl about to be next week. Get that locked on out the way. We have two, not only Black quarterbacks, but we get two Black quarterbacks from Texas. So I absolutely love that. I don't know if y'all saw the videos of the clips, or if you're on Twitter and you hear them talk about Patrick Mahomes and his father. Have y'all seen that?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either.
Okay.
Nope.
So, I had to get some type of way with somebody recently. It was cool because it was a young brother from the greater Seattle area, or just from Seattle in total. Oh my God, where's my Facebook password? And he was like, I can't believe Patrick Mahomes' daddy got out there and acted the way he did. And I'm like, how did he act? What did he do? I'm gonna try to pull up a clip and try to show y'all. See if y'all saw something that I missed. But it was just like, hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. And if you know, and my thing, if you know anything from somebody from East Texas, you'll understand. But do y'all know about Patrick Mahomes' family? Y'all know who Patrick Mahomes is, correct?
Nope.
Yes.
No.
Really? Okay. Goodness. Okay. Let me make sure.
He in here with a bunch of women talking about some football.
You never know. You never know. Hold on. Let me see. That's the old one. So let me see this one. That's it. Hopefully we'll get booted for it.
Yeah, I'm smoking the Joe Burrow.
You smoking on the Joe
I'm
Burrow?
smoking on the Joe Burrow.
How's it feel to be headed back to Super Bowl?
It feels great, my baby boy did what he always do. He gonna show up and show out, and I'm just glad he did it.
Okay. No big. Okay. Do y'all feel like that was poorly acting anything as a father?
Nope.
No, he reminds me of Councilman Mays.
Eric Mays.
Yeah. His voice.
Yeah, he did. Okay, he does. Like,
His voice.
I didn't even put them two together until just now.
Yeah.
But for real, he hold on. Yeah, like going over there, Jay. Like,
No, I'm trying to get comfortable and I have to set up the phone.
you fine. We still here. But okay, that was normal. Man, when I tell you some folks trying to go in on him,
Why?
That's why I asked them. I'm like, why? Like, that sounds like one of my uncles or something like that. Like, because his daddy is Black, his mother's white. They're both East Texas. Tyler Whitehouse, to be more specific. Okay. His daddy played in the major leagues in baseball. His daddy is a pro athlete. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Made money, did his thing, raised his kids, was in their life to a certain point, but still him. Don't get me wrong. But seeing that, I'm like, somebody was like, I can't believe he acted the way he had talking about smoking cigars. I'm like, but the guy he talking about smokes, the white guy smokes cigars. Y'all don't say
he smokes cigars, right?
Y'all lift that up.
You know what? That's nothing but Black elitism.
It is.
And me, once again, the gentleman that I was talking about, I know he's a young athlete up here, and I was like, hey, bro, like, I'm from Texas, man. I'm from the same neck of the woods he from, and you seen how I act and approach, but that is still a Black man doing his thing with his son going to the Super Bowl. How are you hating? And he's an athlete. How we hating on each other like that on Black History Month?
Right. Anytime that just needs to stop. Oh gosh.
It does need to stop because this whole thing of why you gotta act like that around them people, that needs to stop too.
I agree.
Mhm.
Unless
We
you
are who we
unless you're
are.
in the unless you're in the airport.
Unless you're in the airport. But you know,
Like it's like
what I'm saying is we shouldn't have to pack it away just to be acceptable, to be palatable
In thy
to
sight.
certain people. Right.
Mhm,
That
mhm.
man is who he is. He wasn't doing anything offensive.
and this is transitioning to the next step because what expectations do we have for ourselves too? You know, like what should we see from ourselves and our actions and our behaviors and our way we approach one another, how we respect one another. You know, those things I look at too, because I hear on the other side, I hear that we don't have to act like that from them folks, but just for us, how should we act with each other? And it kind of goes back to the Ed Reed conversation I was talking about when we talk about HBCUs. And if you went to HBCU, let me know, because I went to one while I was in high school, Jarvis Christian College. Once again, East Texas. I think Hawkins, if I'm not mistaken, or what's the thing? I can't even think of the name of the spot. But I heard people say, I went to a HBCU and I went to a PWI. I went to predominantly Black high schools. Well, I went to a predominantly Black high school. I went to 2 predominantly Black elementary schools. Went to predominantly white middle school and a few predominantly white elementary schools. So I have a little mix of everything. Okay, but when I hear the expectation, or how we do, no, once again, we ain't gonna have it. We can stop streaming now, but like, how do we do? Because I've been in Black spaces where we have a high expectation for one another and an achievement. And that's why I believe Black history is so important as well. But I also have that knowledge of, because once again, when I went to these white institutions, they do some down low stuff too. Very aggressive, violent behavior, substance abuse, all in middle school. Let me tell you that.
Absolutely.
In middle school, but it's wrapped up all nice and a lot of excuses are made for it, But I know we damnified. I never want to chase that expectation of them, but I do want to live in a spot of peace and comfort. I had neighbors before we built our first house in the house we were living in, and predominantly Black neighborhood. I grew up in a predominantly Black neighborhood, but these fools acting the damn fool. They were like from Baltimore or something like that. Not anything against from Baltimore, but coming down to Texas, and they was happening. What's up, Magic? How you doing? But they were really like fighting, screaming. Like, we had a yard between us, and we still can hear them fighting.
Right.
And once again, this not any of our other Black neighbors are doing this, but that was them. But I don't say being aggressive, being loud. That's not the full representation of Black people.
No.
And so I really have these conversations like we're a monolith. Like it kind of goes to the Black. I always say we got Black credit. Okay, that's why my joke go, because you can go either way. You still Black. And in no greater other, you might get your space may get you in more doors than others, but what expectations should we have for one another? My thing is just stay Black and die, and but don't
be respectful of each other. Be respectful of each other. Mostly, in my opinions.
Right.
I love
exactly. I think acceptance, number one, and respect, number two. Those 2 things, because we have these preconceived notions that, we're supposed to act like this around this certain dynamic.
Exactly.
We're supposed to act this way around it. Why is it that they can be themselves, but amongst our own community, we don't accept each other for being ourselves? Now, granted, that doesn't mean that you just throw respect and regard out the window and you just act a fool. No, but let people be who they are. We're so caught up in the fact that, we got to act like this. Or just like in a corporate job setting. We have to walk on eggshells as African American people in a corporate job setting because they already labeled us being angry, belligerent. You know, why put those labels on ourselves? The rest of the world has already labeled us. Like, why do we have to give in to that? Just be exactly who you are. Respect people for who they are. And I mean, you'll see a huge change just within those few little simple things. It can all be very, very simple. We make it harder on ourselves because we put these labels on people in our own community.
Mhm.
We don't have to. We're such a diverse group of people, so much so that anybody can draw anything from the blueprint that we have.
Yeah.
So if they can use our diversity and benefit from it, why can't we
Right.
accept our own diversity
Agreed.
and respect it?
We are a judgmental people.
We are heavily
Judgmental.
judgmental.
We have so many. I think we also have so many different. We have so many institutions within us that separate us, like sororities and fraternities. I know everybody love them, but to me, those are elite gangs.
I've been talking. I have this written down in my notes from 2 years ago, Sister Girl Jess. Because
This is a big book.
the elitism, and we go all the way back to Jack and Jill. I wasn't a Jack and Jill kid. Okay. I was, once again, my mother was the black sheep, poverty, poor, substance abuse, mental illness. So I was looked down upon, like I wasn't going to be the one to make it. I wasn't, and I recognize those things and those behaviors. And that snooty, my nose up at you.
I will also say this. I think it's certain ones.
Agree.
Because there are certain ones you do not see acting out like that. Like,
Yep.
For instance, where I'm from, because I know it's regional, in different places, different ones are,
Yeah.
But where I'm from, I never see Zetas acting crazy or being elitist or being. I never see them acting like that.
That's something I've never seen either.
I've never seen a Zeta either.
But them doggone.
Hey.
And I can say it because I have several in my family. Those doggone AKAs, though, baby.
Delta 2.
Hey.
My thing is, to me, it's just like institutions that separate us more so than bring us together.
And I'm gonna go back to what Sister Girl just said. Elite gangs. Look what just happened, unfortunately, with the brother. Oh my goodness. Name right here in my head. Oh my God, tip of my tongue. Memphis, Tennessee, just murdered by the police.
Tyree,
yes. And that situation that 3 of them was part of Omega Psi Phi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm part of a fraternity. Okay, I'm not Divine Nine, but I'm part of a fraternity, and it's just real hard because Tyree Nichols. Yes, it's real hard because I've seen some of my brothers that try to act like it was a game. Hey, this is an uplifting community, and the thing is, being militia, and we're not the only ones that have gangs. First and foremost, I'm gonna be clear about that too. It's all around. But once again, I have to bring that book back. I have to move it back to Fridays or something. But it's all in the Spook Who Sat About a Door. First chapter, they talked about that. That he said the
whole thing is, it's just like. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
No, it's like even if you look at the Hispanic community, even if they have their own little separate little we this, but when it come down to it, they come together. And when it come down to it, we don't come together like we should. Well, we don't stand up for each other like we should.
I think that's diminishing though, because once again, even in the Asian community, they have their own issues that we don't see. I'm gonna tell you that now,
right?
Because you got some Hispanic folks that don't, like, legit. I got over here. I got my citizenship. You should stay over there. You shouldn't get the opportunity, which I think is mad crazy.
That's insane.
It's that, but when I tell you, I just had a conversation with someone Thursday at work, and she was telling me how she's still considered illegal, but she got her work visa, but her husband doesn't. And she talking about, I'm like, you would never sit down and think this person going through what they're going through, the way they still smiling going through. They're like, she's from Mexico, but she can never go back home, and she miss home so much. But if she go back, she can't come back to her family here. But the thing is, it's some Mexican, like, and once again, that's why I try to bring folks in the show. But it's some that's like, yeah, I'm here. I don't care about what's going on over there. Don't make my people no more.
Yeah, I agree.
But what we saying with us, it's the same thing. And I'm like, you ain't gonna ever look like you know what? Like, oh, and at the
end of the day, when you're back against the wall with them, you still gonna be seen as black. You're not gonna be you're gonna be the bottom of the barrel at the end of the day.
Right.
And the thing is, I'm big on supporting everyone, but I'm gonna support us, especially the ones that are pushed down, and that's what we are being our back. Backs are turned against us, and the last thing we need to do is turn our back against one another.
Right. We need to make a conscious. It needs to be a conscious effort, in my opinion. It needs to be a conscious effort to uplift, to support, or what have you. But I don't think it is.
I don't think
it's every man for himself and Christ for all.
Ooh. Okay, sister girl Jess. I never heard that one at the end, but I like that.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
That's how people, that's how a lot of us move. Every man for himself. I'm for me and Christ for all. Let him help you.
Sister girl Jess, you really just triggered a memory for me, because my grandmother used to always, that was her favorite thing. And it would always be centered around like food and like her doing stuff. And when she got tired and she said she wasn't doing nothing else, that would be the first thing that came out of her mouth. She was like, every man for himself and God for us all. She was like, in other words, you own your own.
And that removes community.
Right.
That's the opposite of community to me. And I know I always say it's still there. I wouldn't be where I'm at now in life if it wasn't for community. If it wasn't for the men and women in my neighborhood, in my village, that looked out for me, that gave me a ride, that took me to a game, that just sat down and have a conversation with me, that shared some food with me, little simple things like that. I know we talk about that a lot because we need to talk about it. Everything was revolved back to community. And a conversation I was having in my workplace that actually came from a conversation we had last Sunday was about, food, about caring for one another, about people stepping up. And I was big on, a lot of people rely on government. If we can get back to the point we can rely on community, we don't need to rely on government so much. I understand people have trauma. Like, how do we, like, for instance, if we didn't have law enforcement, is it a way for us to enforce ourselves? Who would step up?
Right. I had a whole thought about that today. Like, if we start policing our own neighborhood, just watch. You ain't even got to go chasing down nobody. Just you being out there actively in a small group or whatever. I don't know. I just thought about it because there's been so many situations that are just bad for our community.
Yes. Mental illness, mental health. Instead of locking that person in the back room, how can we provide services and help? Because we truly have all these things. I look at all the different resources we have for one another, and how can we be successful just in-house and continue to grow? And once again, I'm not saying, because I hear desegregation was the worst thing for our community. I can't agree with that. I cannot agree with that. I know it was some flaws. I know it was some pros and some cons that came from it, but you still can do all those things in-house too. Ain't nothing stopping us from doing that. It's some things that's stopping us, but it wasn't desegregation. That's not it. That's what it be. I understand it's other things. That's why I had a conversation with my brother. And he was like, he's brought that up. My elder, shout out to you, Jeremy, and my father. But had a conversation with the pops. You know, those are rare, few and far in between. Let me tell you that. But my opinion is it gave people opportunity to move around and do things. Also, it's not like I said we allowed them in. They was coming in without our permission. I want y'all to know that. If you look at the history of things. Now, that's a conversation we can have in the next 3 minutes and when we get off. But it's something that I'm like, yo, you still can do it. We still have educators in our community. We still have healthcare providers in our community. We have social workers in our community. We have cooks, chefs. Like, what else do we need? We have builders. But how can we continue to trust in one another? How can we rely on one another? Get the passport bros out of here, you know, get the hateful women, the people who want to continue to instill hate in our community. How can we either try to rectify and heal them, or like we got to move along past because you're not bringing anything positive in what we're trying to do for the future. You're being petty. Petty don't get us nowhere.
The sad part about that whole little mentality of us against us, and the black women ain't nothing, black men ain't this. Do you know that is trickling down to the youth already?
What you mean it's been there.
It's ridiculous.
Since I was a little boy, it was there.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm constantly, my son will show me stuff he thinks. I'm constantly telling him to scroll past that stuff. Don't even engage in it. Don't comment it. Don't send it to me. Don't share it. Scroll past it. I said, because even though you don't believe in, eventually you keep hearing that stuff,
yes,
you will be indoctrinated with that stuff. Yes, so you don't buy into it. Don't just keep on going. When they say, when you see this, whatever the caption is, go on and scroll past, period.
Right. Well, the thing is, it's like I keep seeing these, these podcasters and all this, and I don't know. So my age group is looking in like, what are y'all talking about? Like, I really feel like this stuff with the young 20-somethings, because they're the ones that's out there watching these reality shows and watching these stars, these singers and rappers or whatever. So they're trying to adapt, get into that kind of lifestyle. And those of us who are older, we know it's not like that. So
that's not reality. Amen.
It's not reality. So why are our grown selves even getting involved in that or having speaking points in that? Because that's not how we think.
Let's put it, it's reality for a small few.
For a small fee, yeah, you're right.
Understand? So, and that kind of, but I'll read this comment from Maljic. He's, I wish I could have a better perspective on these topics. However, if people in neighborhoods want to handle their own problems, the system does allow citizens to make arrests. However, that's dangerous. Agreed. Mm-hmm. It goes all the way back. What was that word you said earlier, Jess? One of the pillars of everything culture?
Respect.
Like, and that would be a whole extension of a conversation about what is respect. What is respect? What does respect look like to you? What does respect feel like? What does respect like? And now some people, I'm gonna pull it back. But going back to, Sister Girl Jess was just on this. It was just a discussion about it. Goodness. My mind fluttering. I can't replay it, but anyway, I'll continue. But the point is being made when we come down to, about this, the end of that small circle, that truth that people have. When I just had this conversation with these social workers, shout out to Ernesto, by the way, he made a statement that was like, this work is not normal work. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I forget that sometimes. You see shit. You like the stuff that we talking, the crazy stuff that you see a little bit, the stories I tell you, That's not, it's not normal. And I used to come home and tell my wife because I see it so much because it's filled. Like, and it affected me where I'll be in regular day life and I'll be in church and I see a little boy playing with his little sister, cousin, touching her face and all that. And my caseworker sense just, and I'm watching like, what you trying to do?
Mm-hmm.
Could be completely pure innocence of children.
Right.
But I am now like guarded and somewhat jaded because of my experience that I've seen and so much happening. And now when I see this stuff on social media, and that's why I can tell you where it's going to lead. But I have to remember, and then sometimes I get, is this normal for people to act like? It's not in my household. We have peace. We cook, we clean, we respect, we love one another, you know?
Yeah.
But my normal ain't everybody else's normal. Because some
Right.
people grew up in that type of chaos. And unfortunately, chaos is entertaining to many people.
It's the majority of people. That's why
Agreed.
they be in them lives when it's drama.
Agreed.
Child, listen, we were talking about this the other day. As a matter of fact, Nicole and I were talking about it the other day. Anytime, so we'll have a DOB meeting, and we'll have our little live set up. If we're talking about a topic where we uplifting each other or having good conversation or whatever, the numbers fall to like 28, 20, 15, 17 people. Or if it's something good that's going on, we trying to, uplift the babies or something, the numbers are small. But baby, if we had, okay, so we did an experiment one night. We did a thing where we were playing roles. So everybody got the people in the box had a different role. So we made a scenario, and so it was 6 people in the boxes. So it was 3 couples, and each couple had a different scenario. One of those scenarios was some kind of discord. Let's say it was a divorced couple, and they were upset with each other because the father wasn't showing up on time. So they got to make up a piece about what was going on in the dynamic. When I tell you the numbers in the live shot up to like 300 people in no time because they thought that was a real scenario of a man and a woman fighting over their children. It was insane because they thought it was real. So when she called cut and everybody realized that they were playing a role, they were like, man, we didn't know what was going on. We thought y'all was really hashing it out on a live.
Yep.
I was like, so y'all really stopped into this live because y'all thought a couple was on live discussing.
That's how they do. They did.
Really?
Remember that time you had that issue, Drake, and yours with that lady? Everybody was up in that mug.
I tell you, when it got up to like, what, 500 or something like that?
Yeah, it was so many people. Girl, yeah.
I missed that one.
Hey, 20-something. You was there. You was there, T. You had, when the woman was, previous guest on the show, by the way, when the woman was, she made videos, like, she relinquished her rights, terminate her rights, whatever. Yeah, that was before your time, Serenity. And hey, Amber, thank y'all for the likes, by the way. Appreciate that. But she, once again, after being on the show, I know what she's been through in life. She was abused and neglected herself in life. She was going to be on my CPS series with my parents and stuff too. But she relinquished her rights to her child when he was 15. Okay. Mm-hmm. Her son got in a fight with her husband, not his father, but her husband. Mm-hmm. Both of them swinging back and forth. Allegedly, the son won. Okay. And the son ain't big at all either. Okay. But anyway, she put him out the house and relinquished her rights because allegedly he was uncontrollable. All right. Fast forward, he turned 18. She, for whatever reason, which I know the law, y'all may not know this, but I know these things. She made videos and she thinking she's in the right, but she went to go visit him at his school, which is illegal. You're not his parent. That's like T. If I come and visit your kid at school, what? No, you're not. You have no connection to this child any longer, and you was explaining that. But she had this feeling of entitlement that she was gonna do it anyway because one, I'm his mother, but then in the same breath, I'm not his mother. But what you were doing, you wanted some type of valid. You say you was trying to wish him happy birthday, and when his adoptive parents, you know how hard it is to get a child adopted at 16,
Right.
That means he got some type of sense and some type of doing something right in life.
Right.
But he's adopted, doing well, achieving. You come and try to disrupt his happiness. And when the parents step in and do what a parent does, and like, please leave him alone, please leave us alone. He's in a good space. He don't speak to you. She goes on social media and she start a tirade, blasting him, posting old videos of him, talking about how bad of a person he's in, like stuff from when he was 14, 15, like horrible stuff. And me, I was like, I was talking to someone and I was expressing that as a community, should we let these type of things slide or should we address it? Because I was just about to block her. I was about to just cut her off from everything. But when I was having this conversation, she hops in.
But Hit Dog was hollering. Hit Dog was hollering.
Hops in, and I said, "Hey, do you want to? We can address this off. We can address this off air. We can address it on air. I don't mind." She wanted to do it on air. I brought on talking, chopping up, and I would say my temper got the best of me. I'm human. My blood pressure.
I definitely missed that live. I definitely missed that.
Wait a minute. Let me tell you this. Let me because he probably ain't gonna tell y'all this. He said his pressure was up. He got that watch. That watch was beeping.
My watch went off. My watch legit like,
what's going on here?
It's like, hey dog. It was like, hey dog, you need to relax. Your blood pressure is spiked like this, like within this time. Because like she made me so mad.
But it was just that she had everybody mad. She had me mad.
Yeah. A lot of people, everybody was going, and she was trying to respond to the people in the comments.
She sure was. Ooh,
but I'm like, baby, you wrong. You dead wrong. And she kept saying, I'm the victim. Bitch, you ain't the victim. It's a certain point, and that's the thing. When it got to a point when people, that's why, and the same thing with this relationship, this boy, there's a certain point where you have to stop and understand you're the person that's perpetrating on people now. And just because you was hurt doesn't mean you should hurt other people. Responsibility, your ability to respond. You choose to do the wrong thing. She wanted to take on this persona like she's a villain. Like, I'm gonna be like Poison Ivy. Get touched, man. Like, that was one of the things. Like, at first I'm gonna put them laws in your life, which I did. But once again, she tried to dox me. And I said, nobody even gonna know what I'm about to do in your life. I'm gonna do it very quietly because I'm not gonna give you the attention that you think you want. I'm gonna give you some things, other things I'm gonna keep you focused on. I ain't gonna mention your name, but I'm gonna continue to put these laws in your life and these attorneys. Like, I'm gonna hit you. And the thing is, she was already sick. She's already fighting life-threatening things. I'm like, baby, you just hurting. You trying to tear down the world while you going out. I'm comfortable, but as far as and that's the thing while talking to these other men, being a caseworker, I am a defender of these children because there's evil people like that in this world. Seriously, and doing this type of work, it's hard, but people here for I'm not here for the drama. I'm here for the progress. I'm here for the solutions. Yep. And my thing is, only thing I can say is I tried. A lot of people wouldn't even done that.
Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't even,
Because I don't even know that little boy. I don't know that young man. But that young man, guess what? In his next 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years, he's going to reflect his relationship with his biological mother to all the other women and a black woman. And that's, when we start asking, when he become a passport bro or all these other things, that's why I do the makings of you. When we see what happened to you, man, damn, then you got to look back. I may not agree with your actions now, but I can understand how you got there. I can understand the manipulation. And for someone not to take any type of ownership, I mean, zero accountability. It's hard. And people don't see that side. And even once again, even have empathy for her. you get to that point. I understand how you got there, but do you have to stay there? It's a choice that's when you understand sin. It's you can't fault somebody for sinning or doing something they don't know is wrong. But same thing when somebody hurts you. They didn't know they hurt you.
She was standing on what a lot of people stand on. It's just respectability politics. I'm your mother just because I gave birth to you.
You're no longer his mother. You're no longer his
right.
mother.
But
Yeah, I know. You're right.
Right. But a lot of people do that. A lot of people, they treat their kids bad and think you still, like when they get older and able to do for their own themselves or what have you, and you still think, well, I'm your mother. I'm your mother. I'm your mother. Okay. But when you were my mother, do you remember when you did this? Do you remember this? Do you remember this?
And once again, Zarina just said she gave him a long time ago, and that's what she was saying too. That's what this was coming out her mouth.
She was talking reckless.
And that's the thing. You're my mother. You're my mother. Exactly. You're supposed to have my best interest at heart.
But then she'll say, "I'm not your mother."
Mm-hmm.
And with Maljic, and he's saying, hey, I'm not a hero. I'm just a man that Jesus put me here to do the things that he intended for me to do. But thank you. And we need more people to care in the system. Agreed. That's why I'm sharing these stories. Particularly in the system, had a friend who was an orphan, never adopted, had abuse. He was in a mental hospital at 21 because of it. And I see it all the time, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. Not just here and there, all the time. And one thing I say all the time, I'm gonna say this, y'all, then we're gonna be hopping off. We can still be on Zoom, but I'm gonna hop off YouTube. The Get On Up story, James Brown story. That time when I think I talked about this on the makings of Missy 713. But that scene when he was talking to Little Richard. And I know it's random, but hear me out. But I look at my life like the success that I'm about to achieve is something I can never imagine God having in store for me, because I serve a mighty Lord. You understand? But that scene in there is kind of like God speaking. Is like, who hurt you? What happened to you? And like Little Richard asked James Brown, what happened to you? I know what happened to me, but what happened to you? And I look at that for a lot of people. Something happened to somebody. Something happened to you, whether you acknowledge it or not. What happened to you for that put that type of instillment for you to try to be a change or be good and be bad and something greater? What happened?
Right.
And that's something I just really, that's why I asked. I don't know how to, I could just ask this straight up on people on the show, what happened to you? But a lot of people will be so lost.
That's exactly, but for the grace of God, many of us, everybody has a story. It may not be the same story, but everybody has a story where it could have been me.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been me. You like I used to watch what's that show with the people on the drugs?
Which one? Euphoria?
I know, huh?
Euphoria?
No, they try to do intervention.
Intervention.
Intervention. I'm like,
okay.
I'm like, they tried on intervention. I used to watch that all the time, and I'm like, everybody is a circumstance, a story, a situation away where it could have been them, but it's all about the choices you choose to make.
Right.
Choices. Them choices, something else, ain't they?
They sure is. Choices
are something else.
Goodness.
And just like they say, but for the grace of God, there goes I.
See. We'll start having prayers each Sunday after when we get off. And let me tell you, it's needed. It's needed. I go to church at 5:00, so back work. But I really do value all y'all, especially my YouTube family and throughout. We'll be back next Sunday, same time. We'll be on Zoom at 1. We usually try to get on YouTube like 1:15, 1:30. Facebook give us a little bit of problems, but we about to have our little closing conversation with one another right now. But want to say, make sure to share our page. We're at 695 followers or subscribers on YouTube right now. We would love to get to that 1,000 by the end of March. We greatly appreciate the support, appreciate the love. And this month, actually, if we get it by the end of this month, happy Black History Month, by the way, everyone, that would be ideal. We're about to reach 4 years of Everything Culture. So thank y'all so much. We love y'all and Peace.